My life at 35 revolved around my two children, Lily 10 and Owen 8. Our days were a tapestry woven with the threads of school runs, bedtime stories, and the quiet comfort of our routines. I loved them fiercely. Their happiness was the North Star of my existence. Yet beneath the surface of our seemingly ordinary lives, there was a persistent shadow, a subtle ache that often went unspoken. For 15 years, a cherished family tradition had unfolded. My mother, Sarah, consistently rented the same beautiful beach house for our annual summer vacation. It was meant to be a time of connection, laughter, and lasting memories for our entire extended family. But despite this long-standing tradition, my children and I were never once invited to join. Every year, the same polite but firm excuse would surface: there isn't enough room. This explanation, however, always seemed to conveniently overlook the fact that my older sibling Jessica and their family of 6 always found a place effortlessly. I had built a successful career in real estate investment, a testament to years of relentless work and countless sleepless nights. But in the eyes of my family, particularly Jessica, my achievements seemed to hold little weight. I can still recall their dismissive chuckle. Perhaps if you engaged in something more conventional, things would be different. I never argued back. Instead, I just silently pushed myself harder, driven by an unspoken promise to myself and my children. A promise to forge our own path, to create our own sense of belonging. Then last month, something monumental shifted. I made a significant acquisition, a purchase so impactful it reverberated through the family, leaving them utterly speechless. This was more than just an investment. It was a turning point, a quiet declaration, and the genesis of a profound transformation in our lives. This journey wasn't just about beachfront properties. It was about reclaiming a narrative, about finally finding our place in a world that often felt unwelcoming. For years, I had navigated the quiet disappointment of those uninvited summers watching from afar, as the rest of my family created cherished memories without us. My ambition, once fueled by a desire for external validation, slowly transformed into a relentless pursuit of self-worth and a profound desire to provide my children with a sense of security and belonging that I often felt was denied to me. This silent struggle, this deeply personal conflict, was about to reach its crescendo. I was poised to enter a space where my success would no longer be invisible, where my voice would finally be heard, not by pleading, but by the undeniable weight of my actions. The moment had come for the uninvited to finally host the party. If you've ever felt the quiet sting of exclusion or found strength in carving your own path, consider joining our community. A simple like or subscribe ensures you won't miss more stories of quiet triumphs and reclaiming your narrative. Your connection helps us amplify these voices. The roots of this quiet exclusion ran deep, stretching back to my earliest memories. From childhood, my mother, Sarah, displayed a distinct favoritism towards my older sibling, Jessica. Sarah, now 62, seemed to view Jessica, 38, with an undeniable pride. Jessica's life appeared on the surface to be the epitome of perfection, married to a successful surgeon named David with 4 well-behaved children. This idyllic image often cast a subtle, uncomfortable shadow over my own less conventional path. The summer tradition at Sunset Beach began 16 years ago, shortly after my father passed away. It was initiated as a way for the family to connect and heal. The very first year, I was actually included, accompanied by my partner at the time, Chris. But everything changed 12 years ago following our separation. Lily was just a toddler then, and I was pregnant with Owen. From that moment on, the invitation simply vanished. The reasons provided were always polite: lack of space. A five-bedroom house, complete with an attic, yet somehow it was never quite enough for my three-person family. I even offered to sleep on the sofa, suggesting my children could share rooms with their cousins. My offers were always met with polite yet firm declinations. The excuses varied. Emily needed her privacy, or David's grandfather was accustomed to watching television every evening. The reasons were plentiful, but the underlying truth was simple and piercing. We were not truly wanted. The sting of exclusion was often felt most acutely through the innocent hopes of my children. I vividly recall 3 summers ago, Lily meticulously preparing her sea treasure box, a small container filled with shells and trinkets she intended to bring to the beach, her childish enthusiasm radiating. Owen, equally eager, would practice holding his breath underwater in the bathtub, dreaming of swimming in the ocean alongside his cousins. When I had to gently break the news, maybe next summer we'll get to go, both children would force a brave smile. But I saw the deep disappointment in their eyes, the quiet sadness that settled over them. To soften the blow of these missed family vacations, I made it my mission to create unforgettable summers just for my children and me. We visited water parks, attended summer camps, and sometimes simply enjoyed picnics on the city park's lawn. These moments were precious, filled with laughter and love. But every evening, when Lily would recount tales of her cousin's beach adventures, stories brimming with sunshine, crashing waves, and playful dolphins, I knew that these almost experiences could never truly fill the void. It was then, in those quiet, introspective moments, that I made a solemn promise to myself: things had to change. And the catalyst for that change, I realized with unwavering conviction, had to be me. The path I would forge would not be one of seeking acceptance, but one of creating our own legacy. My decision to change wasn't born out of spite, but out of a desperate need to protect my children's joy and reclaim our sense of belonging. I began to intensely research beachfront real estate investment. My existing real estate business was already thriving. I owned several rental properties, had built a loyal client base, and possessed a wealth of self-taught knowledge gained during countless sleepless nights. But this time, my ambition stretched far beyond my current ventures. I was determined to think bigger, to build something that would not only secure our future, but also stand as a testament to our inherent worth. My sights landed on a small, dilapidated resort, ideally situated just a 2-hour drive from the house my mother rented annually. This property was a diamond in the rough 3 acres of beachfront land, 200 feet of private beach, and a tranquil cove. Valuable assets that the previous owner had clearly failed to recognize or exploit. This was an opportunity to not just invest, but to create something truly special, something that could rewrite our family's summer narrative. I poured every penny of my savings into this venture. I mortgaged several existing properties and secured additional capital from the bank. This was the most significant financial risk I had ever taken in my life, and a potent mix of fear and exhilarating excitement churned within me. I knew I couldn't do it alone. I sought out Barbara Thornton, a renowned and successful real estate developer who later became my invaluable mentor. Barbara, with her keen eye and sharp business acumen, immediately recognized my potential. "You have good instincts," she told me, "but you need to think bigger." Her words ignited a fire within me. She became my guide, helping me craft a comprehensive business plan, connecting me with crucial investors, and setting me on the path to transform that worn-out plot of land into what would become Seaside Haven, a resort embodying a fresh vision. Throughout this entire process, I meticulously kept my plans a secret from both Sarah and Jessica. Part of me wanted to wait for the perfect moment to reveal my creation, but a larger part simply wanted to avoid the familiar, disparaging comments and skepticism that I knew would inevitably come. However, there were two people I couldn't and wouldn't keep this secret from my children. One crisp winter morning, I drove them to the resort. The parking lot was riddled with potholes. The signs were peeling, and frankly, everything looked far from appealing. "This is where we'll be spending our summer vacation," I announced, leading them to the weathered wooden deck overlooking the vast ocean. The waves gently lapped at the shore, and the boundless sky stretched above us. I turned to face them, a wide smile spreading across my face. "This place is ours. I bought it." Lily's eyes widened in disbelief. "You bought a hotel," she gasped. "It's a resort," I corrected her, a warmth spreading through me. "We're going to renovate it, and starting next summer, all three of us will spend our entire summer vacation right here." Owen Ever Practical chimed in right near Grandma's house. "Just 10 minutes away, sweetheart." I confirmed a hint of something more than just geography in my voice. To involve them in this monumental undertaking, I gave them a special task to design one of the rooms, the family room. Their imaginations soared. They proposed a cozy reading nook, their very own ice cream bar, and a deeper swimming pool. As they excitedly brainstormed, their eyes shone with a brilliant light. In that moment, watching their unbridled joy and excitement, I knew with absolute certainty that I was doing the right thing. This was not just about a building. It was about building a new foundation for us. As Seaside Haven began to take shape, I meticulously planned a grand family gathering for early July. This was no ordinary reunion. My guest list was carefully curated. I only invited those relatives who, like us, had been consistently excluded from my mother's annual beach vacations. Elegant, handwritten invitations were dispatched to aunts, uncles, and cousins. Noticeably absent from the guest list were Sarah and Jessica. When Owen, with his innocent curiosity, asked, "Why isn't Grandma coming?" I gently replied, "Grandma has other plans, darling." News travels fast in families, and it wasn't long before word reached my mother. Soon after Jessica's furious call came. "You're hosting a family gathering and didn't invite Mom and me." She fumed, her voice laced with indignation. "My children are crying, thinking you hate them." I remained calm, my voice steady. "I'm truly sorry if they're upset," I began. "However, this particular vacation is specifically for those who have been left out for the past 15 years. As for you, you already have plans with Mom's rented house. I wouldn't want to intrude." Jessica's anger escalated. "Are you expecting us to pay to get in there?" She practically screamed the insult clear in her tone. "You are welcome to book a room like any other guest," I replied evenly. "If you wish." The conversation abruptly ended with Jessica's final cutting remark. "Mom was right. You're always selfish." I just remained silent. I knew deep down that this wasn't revenge. This was the crucial first step toward genuine healing for myself and for my children. It was about establishing boundaries, about showing them that our worth was not dependent on external approval. The weekend of the gathering arrived, and Seaside Haven came alive. The air vibrated with joyous laughter, heartfelt greetings, and sincere congratulations. Lily and Owen, beaming with pride, took on the roles of enthusiastic tour guides, showing off their newly created family room and pointing out every special detail. During the festivities, an uncle raised his glass, his voice filled with warmth. "I has reminded us," he declared, "that while success can be the sweetest revenge, family connection is truly the most precious reward." I couldn't have asked for a more profound sentiment, a moment of deep validation that resonated within me. Then a sudden hush fell over the room. My mother appeared, walking into the reception lobby, her face unreadable, a storm brewing in her eyes. "What is this, she demanded, her voice cutting through the pleasant hum of conversation. "Inviting the entire family, but leaving your mother and your sibling out. Do you know how humiliating this is? This isn't meant to punish you," I responded, my voice calm but firm, my resolve unwavering. "This is a new chapter. It's a place for those who have been excluded to finally have a chance to reunite." "You're doing this for revenge," my mother insisted, her gaze unwavering, clearly refusing to see beyond her own narrative. "I've always encouraged you to be independent." I met her gaze directly, my voice steady, my heart aching but firm. Independence doesn't mean being abandoned. After a strained silence, my mother unexpectedly asked for a tour. I led her through the bustling resort, and for the first time in many years, we spoke without the usual tension. As we stood on the wooden deck overlooking the serene ocean, she finally spoke about Jessica. "Your sibling is very sad," she admitted, her voice softer now. "The children are looking forward to seeing Lily and Owen." "The children are always welcome to visit," I clarified, "as guests, not as if they are doing us a favor." "We didn't mean to make you feel that way," she said softly, a hint of vulnerability in her tone. "I know," I replied, "but feelings don't need a reason. They just need to be honest." Finally, my mother said she would stop by on one of the days during her own vacation nearby. I didn't ask for more. This subtle shift, this small acknowledgement felt like a quiet victory. The days that followed that initial family gathering at Seaside Haven were filled with a profound sense of peace I hadn't felt in years. Yet the conversation with my mother lingered, a bittersweet reminder of past wounds. I found myself reflecting deeply on the choices I had made and the path that had led me to this moment. It wasn't about proving a point anymore. It was about truly finding my own ground. One afternoon, as I watched Lily and Owen playing joyfully on the private beach, their laughter carried on the breeze, a wave of clarity washed over me. All those years of striving for acceptance, of trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for me, had finally come to an end. My value, my worth, was not contingent on anyone else's approval. It was inherent, forged in the fires of resilience and self-reliance. This realization was liberating, a release from a burden I hadn't even fully realized I was carrying. I understood then that true healing didn't mean mending every broken relationship, but rather mending my relationship with myself. It meant choosing peace over validation, self-respect over lingering disappointment. The decision solidified within me I would continue to build, to grow, and to nurture the community I had found without looking back or seeking approval from those who had consistently withheld it. This was my moment to truly own my narrative, to stand firm in the strength I had cultivated. The past, with its hurts and rejections, no longer defined me. My future, and that of my children, would be built on a foundation of our own, making a testament to what happens when the uninvited finally decide to invite themselves and then invite others into a space of genuine acceptance and belonging. 1 year later, Seaside Haven flourished beyond my wildest dreams, quickly becoming a beloved destination for countless families seeking genuine connection and memorable experiences. I not only achieved, but surpassed every financial goal I had set for myself. The family room, which Lily and Owen had so lovingly designed, was consistently booked solid, a heartwarming testament to the joy and comfort it brought to others. Even Emily Jessica's daughter chose to work at the resort during the summer, a decision that surprised and pleased me. This experience proved invaluable for her personal growth, and through her a subtle yet meaningful shift occurred in my relationship with Jessica. The initial tension between us gradually eased, largely due to the children's natural desire to connect and the shared space we now inadvertently occupied. My mother, true to her word, visited 3 times during her own vacation, and I noticed a growing interest in her grandchildren, a warmth that had been absent for far too long. These interactions, though, still navigating years of unspoken history, were a quiet step towards a more authentic connection. I didn't just build a resort, I rebuilt the very concept of family for myself and my children. A place that once symbolized rejection now stands as a powerful emblem of self-reliance, profound healing, and unconditional love. It was a space where every guest, every family felt truly welcomed and valued, a stark contrast to my own past experiences. As the sun dipped below the horizon, one evening casting a golden glow over Seaside Haven, Lily turned to me, her voice filled with quiet wonder. "Can we do this every summer?" she asked, her eyes shining with pure joy. I held her close, gazing out at the beautiful, thriving resort that had become our sanctuary. "As long as you wish, this place will always be ours," I promised, "and we will decide who shares it with us, creating a haven where everyone truly belongs." The feeling was not one of triumph over others, but of profound peace and self-acceptance. The story of Seaside Haven isn't merely a tale of financial success or overcoming familial discord. It's a testament to the quiet power of resilience, the transformative journey of healing, and the profound importance of self-worth. It's about understanding that sometimes the greatest acts of love are the boundaries we set, and the most meaningful connections are forged not through obligation, but through genuine acceptance. In the end, while some family relationships may never fully heal in the way we initially envision, true liberation comes from embracing our own path, from creating spaces where we and our loved ones can thrive authentically. This journey taught me that happiness isn't found in external validation. but in building a life rooted in integrity, love, and a fierce commitment to our own well-being. May this story inspire you to recognize your own inherent value, to build your own havens, and to remember that the most beautiful summers are the ones we create ourselves. If this story resonated with you, if it sparked a flicker of hope or understanding, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to continue exploring stories of inner strength and personal growth, please consider subscribing. Your presence here truly makes a difference. Thank you for listening.